welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan and thank you so much for clicking on one of my bookish videos. Today I'm super excited because I am going to be doing a little vlog challenge of continuing the series that I'm in the middle of. This is fully inspired by my friend Izzy, who also has a YouTube channel. I will link her channel below. I'm in the middle of quite a few right now, not too many, but ones that I definitely want to get to sooner than later. So I figured this would be a very good way to motivate myself to get through them. So if you want to see me continuing a few series that I'm in the middle of, make sure you keep watching. Hello, we are starting off this video how I feel like I start off many of my reading vlogs. I am currently listening to Rebel Witch, which is the second book in the Heartless Hunter duology, which comes out, I believe, on February 18th. So will probably be out by the time this video is uploaded. I'm listening to the audiobook, which was gifted to me by Penguin Random House Audio, so thank you to them. And I'm super excited. I listened to the audiobook for Heartless Hunter and I really liked the narrator. She just made the action and the tension between Rune and Gideon so enthralling and fast-paced. And so far I'm about 3 hours into Rebel Witch and I'm loving it so far. It is so fast-paced. I feel like so much has happened already, but so much more has to occur in the plot, especially because this is a duology. I think that there's going to be a lot of action and plot and world building in this book specifically. All I can say is that Rune and Gideon are back pretending that they hate each other, even though they kind of have the same goals and clearly they're utterly obsessed with each other. There has been a shared forced proximity shared bed situation so far, which I love in a young adult book. It's just funny seeing the two of them protect each other even though they claim they hate each other, is all I have to say. The tension is so good and I can tell that this is going to be like another slow burn situation once again, hopefully, of them like getting to trust each other. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. I'm probably just going to be listening to the audiobook for this one, but it is the end of the week, so maybe I'll do a little bit of reading if I have time over the weekend. Yeah, I can't wait to share my thoughts. Hello and happy Sunday. I wanted to give a quick update on Rebel Witch because I listened to a lot at the end of this week. I'm now like over 50% through. I think I just checked and I'm on chapter 34. So I figured this was a good time to give an update because I'm hoping to finish the audiobook tomorrow or Tuesday. I am absolutely loving this book. I think I'm liking it more than Heartless Hunter so far, but that's probably just because it feels like there's so much more action in this book. Honestly, the tension has somehow stepped up even further between Rune and Gideon to the point where I'm just like begging for them to get it together. I'm absolutely loving it. I am kind of scared for how much more is left in this book, considering I am only about 50% through and so much has happened so far, but so much more needs to happen in order for hopefully them to come together and fall in love like they're meant to be. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Happy Monday. I have had a total change of plans right now because I should be reading the physical book that I'm loving right now, but I've been binging Rebel Witch for the past like day and a half and I am now officially 85% through, so I have 15% left. I just need to know how this book is going to end. I am so in love with it. I feel like once part 2 started and now part 3, I have just been so obsessed with this book. I'm reading all of my other books and I just keep thinking, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Is Gideon and Rune going to end up together? Are the witches going to take over? Is the Republic going to take over? I don't know. We have 15% left and I honestly don't know what's going to happen, but I need to know. And so change the plans for tonight because I'm about to sit down and hopefully finish this book. Fully switched to reading on my Kindle because I read faster that way. Yeah, we are at a currently tension-packed moment where I once again just want to scream honestly at Gideon. Like, what are we doing? I know you love her. I know she loves you. Stop sacrificing yourself for each other and figure it out. So you are about to get my live reactions, hopefully, to the end of this book because I want to finish it tonight, right now. just finished, and why I feel like I'm gonna keep crying. That was so good. As you just saw from me crying for the past like 5 minutes. I did not expect to cry at the end of that. Kristen Cicerelli, you now have all my respect. You completely caught me off guard with that ending, and I did not expect it to be so intense. You had me there for a minute with that ending. You honestly had me, and not many people can do that with fantasy books because I have read quite a few. Wow, this was a wonderful, wonderful sequel. My heart is still literally pumping because I'm just thinking about everything that just happened. I am so happy with how that ended without giving everything away. I feel like I got the ending that I wanted with Gideon and Rune. I'm just so proud of honestly both of them and their character development and the way that they decided to stand up for the things that they believed in and not run away from their fear. The two of them were so connected, especially with Cressida and how Cressida treated them and abused them both and manipulated both of them. It just was so great to see, especially Rune, just grow, keep getting back up every time that she got knocked down by life. The ending was crazy. I really, really enjoyed how Kristen incorporated like the witch lore at large and the backstory of Rune, as well as the different witches. Yeah, I can already tell that this is gonna be one of my favorite fantasy, young adult fantasy series of the year. I think that this honestly is a really impressive duo for how much world building and plot there is. This book was packed with so much action, so many secrets, way too many secrets. I just love them. And the tension was so good, and I'm going to be screaming to everybody, please read this series. Look how happy I am, even though I just cried over the ending. Anyway, I love this book so much. What a wonderful way to start this video off. Hello, it is currently Friday night, January 31st, and I wanted to do a quick check-in because I am about to start 2 books for this video, both of which I am super excited for. Yeah, to begin, I am going to be reading The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, which is the second book in the Windy City series, and this is a highly anticipated book for me, one that has been out for so long. I read Mile High at the end of last year, I want to say in November or December, and I enjoyed it, but I know for a lot of people Mile High ended up being their least favorite in the series, so I'm excited to keep reading and see which couple and which books I like the best. I know people love Ryan Shea. I have been waiting to meet Ryan Shea now for probably like a year, and it's my fault for putting this off. Let me tell you, I started this last night. I read about 15% and I am already so in love with this man. And he's so like cool on the outside because he has such a high wall up. I just already am so in love. Like, I want to binge this book so badly. I think I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to read a lot of it these next few days. My main goal is to get through the 4 books that are currently out in the series before Rewind It Back comes out, I think in May, which is the last book, because I want to be a part of the hype. When it comes out, I want to finally be able to read the book and enjoy it and freak out about it with everyone else. So let's get started. Next up, what I will also be starting now at the beginning of February, and which I have a very good feeling is going to take me the entire month of February to read. So this reading vlog is about to be filmed over a course of probably a month and a half, and that is Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 4th book that has been released so far in the Stormlight Archive series. I have now read the first 3 books in the series. They are all over 1,000 pages long, and I am still intimidated going into this book. the length is just, how is this not intimidating? Here's the thing. I want to read this book. I am so excited. I know that I'm gonna love it. I love this series so dearly. It takes me a while to get through, and it takes me a while to read and really soak up and understand the different character arcs as well as the different plot lines that are going on. And because I'm someone who enjoys reading fast, that sometimes is not my favorite feeling. Yes, this book does intimidate me because of its length. However, I know that I'm gonna love it, and I'm gonna do what I did with the last 3 books, which is take my time with it, not try to get through it in a week, 2 weeks, whatever. I may listen to the audiobook a little bit because I did really enjoy listening to the audiobook for Oathbringer, the last one. So you are gonna slowly get updates about this probably over the next month. We'll see if I can get through it any sooner. I doubt it, but I am super excited to start this journey. Windy City series update, the Right Move update. I know I updated last night, but I couldn't really sleep last night, so I ended up binging a lot of this in the middle of the night, and I think I'm about like 50% through. And my update is that I love Ryan Shea. I love Ryan Shea so much. Ooh, he is gonna be up there now, I think, with BJ Valentine and Conrad Fisher, and those are like my top tier book boyfriends. It is just the way that this man shows up for Indy. I know that he's an acts of service king, but throughout this entire book, even if he's closed off and he doesn't trust her because he doesn't trust other people because of things that he's gone through in the past and his life and how high profile he is, he still does everything for her. Like, he wants her to feel comfortable. He wants her to be happy. He wants her to know that her past relationship was toxic and not the way that she deserves to be treated. And just like all of the little things that he does for her are so good. I want a Ryan Shea, just in the way that he treats other people. I am loving this one. I am gonna keep reading. I'm hoping to finish this weekend, or at least by like Monday, because it's a relatively fast book to get through and I'm flying through. So we shall see, but that is my current update. Hello, and it is time for an update on the Right Move because I am currently 80% through and I don't have time to finish tonight, so I think I'll probably finish tomorrow. But it honestly killed me to stop reading. I just wanted to finish it. Right now I'm feeling very happy about where this book is, and that does worry me because it is a romance book and we're at 80% and I'm just fearing the dreaded third act breakup that I hate. So yeah, I'm just a little worried that they're about to break up. Obviously something's gonna happen because there's 20% of the book left, but right now I honestly just cried getting Ryan's backstory and him just being vulnerable and opening up to Indy. What he has gone through in his past relationships and the reason why he has trust issues is just so heartbreaking. And the way that he got vulnerable and cried and opened up about his emotions and how his past relationships and his career has affected him and his mental health and his goals was so good. Yeah, I'm loving it. I don't know how any other book in this series is gonna be the right move now. I don't know how anyone's gonna beat Ryan Shea, but I'm excited to try and find out. I just love them. I love, and that's what they are. And I love Ryan Shea. Like, I can picture him in my head and I'm so obsessed. So I'm excited to finish it tomorrow. Good morning. It is currently Thursday and I got a 2-hour delay today because of the ice and snow. So I figured I would do a few little updates because I haven't updated much this week. I've had super busy nights, but I actually have gotten a good chunk of reading done in terms of Rhythm of War. So I'm gonna first start off though with my thoughts on The Right Move because I did finish that literally on Monday. So like 3 days ago. I absolutely loved it. So far, definitely my favorite book in the Windy City series, but it's only the second one. I feel like a lot of people love The Right Move the most, especially because of Ryan Shea, and I get that. And then there's also people that like every other book is their favorite and they say it just keeps getting better and better. So I'm super excited to keep reading. My thoughts are that I just loved Ryan Shea so much. There definitely was a lot of like miscommunication issues, which I don't normally get too annoyed with because I think they're realistic, especially when they're written in a realistic manner. Like people have internal issues that they're trying to figure out and that's causing them to not communicate well. And I think that's a lot of what this book was. Ryan had his own insecurities and his own trauma because of what happened to him in his past relationship. Indy kind of also had issues from her past relationship, just didn't want to go through the same struggles she had. That's why she had gotten out of her last one. But once they both like opened up to each other, just went so well. And honestly, the way that Ryan at the end, when they did have like a big fight, which is my last update, I was like, oh, there's 20% left and everything's good. So clearly something's gonna happen. You know, of course something does happen and they do have a fight, but the way that he made it up to her and, you know, showed that he loved her was so in character for him and it was so beautiful. And also I just loved that it was so obvious that he had been in love with her for months, like before they even got together. Again, through his actions and like the little things that he did that in the end could prove to her that he did love her. It was so good. I gave it a 4.5, which I think I'm gonna stick to that as my rating because there definitely were parts where like it wasn't a fully 5-star feeling, but I absolutely loved it and I cannot wait to keep reading this series. Okay, so Rhythm of War update. I am making really good progress, probably because I am trying to prioritize this book so I can get this vlog done. So far, I'm at page 431 on chapter 34, which is a really good chunk of the book done. And honestly, most of my progress is because I've been listening to this book as like my audiobook of the week during my commute and then reading a little bit in the morning and at night. The combination of those two things, like listening to the audiobook, I love the audiobook narrators for this series, especially for different characters. Their voices are so good and so funny. It's just, I feel like keeping me more engaged in the story, especially this one. I don't think that this is like my favorite of the series so far, so I feel like the audiobook is a good way to go about it. I also just feel like I'm making progress, even though it literally takes me like 30 minutes to listen to a chapter, which is crazy. I still feel like I'm making more progress than I would be if I was just reading on my own. Yeah, I'm hoping to get like halfway through this book this week, which would make me really happy. Right now, I feel like everyone's going through it. In terms of plot, I feel like I can't say too much because again, it's the 4th book in the series. There's definitely a lot in this book about like the Spren and the honor Spren specifically, and you're getting point of views of some of the Spren, which I'm loving. So kind of, yeah, just the separation between like the humans and the Spren, which I feel like we haven't gotten too much into, but it makes sense after what happened at the end of book 3. In terms of characters, I was talking about with my friend, and I do think there are certain characters that are having like a similar character arc that they had in past books, but Sanderson is like building on it. So you kind of thought in the past few books, especially like Oathbringer, that they like reached their max of like how much development they could get, but no, they are going through it again, once again, even worse. What I'm liking the most so far is just Kaladin's character. Obviously, I love Kaladin. He is going through it. I will say that the way that Sanderson is writing his mental health and just like mental health in general, so well done. I think Kaladin's character in this book especially is going through a lot of depression, and it's really clear clear that Sanderson either went through similar feelings from the way that he's writing it from such like an internal perspective, and I'm really, really enjoying it, and it's making me emotional. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far, and hopefully I can get a good chunk more done by the next time I talk to you. Good morning. It is currently February 15th. It is the start of a long weekend for me. I am off on Monday, and I am really, really determined to finish this book this weekend. I honestly am like so proud of the progress that I've made through this book in the past 2 weeks. I think today it's been like 2 weeks since I started reading it, and I currently am on page 1000. So I have 200 pages left, about 200 pages. I'm at like 82%. So I definitely can do it. I have like 200 pages left. I feel like if I read a decent amount these next 2 days and maybe listen to the audiobook a little bit, I can get some of it done. And currently where I'm at is Adolin is on trial, which is super interesting. He's trying to get the honors friend to agree essentially to bond to the humans despite them hating the humans. Navani's storyline I think right now is super interesting, with her being in the tower and her trying to essentially be a spy and figure out ways out of the tower, but also she's doing some experimenting with void light and all the different light. And I am still enjoying Venley's perspective and getting to figure out, we're getting more and more of what she was involved in and like her role now and how much she has changed and how she's trying to do the right thing now to fix a lot of what she did beforehand. I am super excited. I feel like I'm gonna be able to finish this, hopefully, like I said, this weekend, and then I'm only gonna have one book left for now, which is crazy, and I'm gonna feel so accomplished when I get through this book because it is basically, I feel like, been the main book that I've been reading this month, which is fine. Like whenever I read one of these big books, I just know it's gonna take up most of my reading time, and I feel like I have been enjoying it more so in the past like couple hundred pages. Let's do some reading. I am coming to you literally days later after finishing Rhythm of War because I finished this book and then I immediately got sick and could not film myself on any camera. I'm here to say that as of February 21st, 22nd, I have finished Rhythm of War, and I'm super happy with that because my goal was to read this in February and get it done before the end of February, especially for this video, and honestly, I feel like I got through it really quick. 100% recommend the audiobooks for this series if you're into like reading while listening or listening/reading, doing like a hybrid read. It just gets me so into the story, so into the different characters, and I've now listened to the audiobook mostly for the past 2 books in the series. It's just so fun. Like, I love the way that the narrators do the different characters and bring the book to life. I did finish Rhythm of War. I'm super happy. I think I'm giving this a 4 stars. It is not my favorite in the series. I think the reason for that is a lot of the book did feel really slow, even though I think this is the fastest I've read any of the books in the series. It just dragged on a bit, especially like at the beginning, then to the end being in the tower. However, the positives were, obviously, I still enjoyed it. Like, I had so much fun. I loved how we got to learn about so many different minor characters in this book. I feel like this had like the most point of views that wasn't just like the main core characters. And at first, I feel like as you watch this vlog, you saw that I started like kind of bored and annoyed with some of the characters' perspectives. Come here! We have a special guest! Oh my goodness. Coop, can you say hi to the crowd? Can you say hi? Oh, you're such a good boy. Anyway, I really ended up enjoying Venley's character. I could see why she's so critical, and like we learned so much of her history and how her history has directly essentially created and like impacted everything that's happened in this war. And I really loved Taravangian's character. He's crazy. He's so complex. I feel like we got a lot more of him. Just like different, almost like villain type characters I thought were fleshed out really well. And then Kaladin. He is always going to be my favorite character in the series. I think the mental health and depression representation that Sanderson wrote in his character in this book was fantastic. Just so real, and especially like his suicidal thoughts and ideation he was suffering with. I could tell it was just really authentic. I really enjoyed this. I'm really interested to see what I think of Wind and Truth because it is the last book in this first arc, and I know that it's taking place over like 10 days. And as always, this book did end on a really big cliffhanger. And so I'm interested to see if I think it's gonna be slow or fast-paced, as you would expect from like the finale. But yeah, overall, I would say like 8 out of 10. But I'm excited to get to the last book in the series. Okay, so that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me throughout this journey. I've literally been filming this video for a month now. So we're gonna see how it all comes together. All in all, honestly, a really successful reading vlog, reading little journey I took. I read and listened to Rebel Witch, which I gave 5 stars. I absolutely love this, and I finished technically this series because it was a duology, so that's always amazing, and this will be one of my favorite YA fantasy books of the year. Then I read The Right Move, and honestly, I've been thinking about this book constantly since I read it. Like, as you all saw, Ryan Che is now like a top tier book boyfriend for me. I gave that a 4.5 and I just loved it. Like, it was the perfect romance. I honestly am like, I don't know how that book is now going to be beat with the rest of the series because I still have 3 more books to read. It was just like a wonderful romance. I absolutely loved it. And then finally, I read Rhythm of War, the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive series, and I rated this a 4 stars, and now I only have 1 book left, the last massive book in the series. All in all, a very successful reading month. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. I feel like these are some of my favorite videos to watch, especially motivating me to continue the series that I'm in the middle of and finish some of them. So if you enjoyed this type of video, or you enjoyed seeing me read some of these books and you yourself are excited to read them, make sure you comment below. I would love to hear. I will see you in my next one. Bye.